Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing good. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 romance manhwas that are worth reading. But before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Coming at number 1, we have Please Marry Me Again Husband. Being born as an illegitimate daughter of the Duke, Seria was never loved by anyone. Afraid of being abandoned by her own family, she finally finds a way she could be useful. It is to seek the interests of the family through a political marriage to the monster Prince Kadi, who is known as the nightmare of the battlefield. However, to Syria, Kadi seemed a little bit different when she met him. It was the first time someone cared about her. Perhaps that's why she was happy even when she died for Kadi. When she opened her eyes again and realized that their happy memories disappeared like a dream, she decided to be unashamed of herself as a person and decided to be Kadi's wife once again. Coming at number 2, we have After School Lessons for Unripe Apples. In her final year of middle school, Hwang Mie is stuck with Kim Seol, a boy she met briefly years ago. He is her classmate and her neighbor. When the other kids tease them as a couple, in a flurry of uneasiness, Sheol starts to avoid Mie like a plague. But it doesn't end there. Destiny won't leave them alone as Kim Seol and Hwang Mie keep seeing each other everywhere. Erupting in more trouble, the author is amazing at portraying emotions. One single panel can totally capture the character's personality and feelings. There are so many cute incidents and it's progressing slowly since it's a slow burn, but that's the beauty of it. The characters are so likable, especially Mie. All the characters are relatable. This story has a very specific type of art that just seems so familiar yet somehow distant. Visually, it reminds you of those retro animations from our childhood shows. Coming at number 3, we have The Tyrants Comfort Doll. Legend has it that a man with black hair and red eyes will bring ruin to Den Helder's royal family. Because he was born with these features, Rayton is shunned by the palace as the cursed one. When the vengeful prince stages a bloody coup, defeat years later, the powerless youngest princess, Sets, also dies by his sword. Little does Sets know that she is about to wake up in her body 5 years in the past, but now that she has, it's her chance to get on Rayton's good side and turn her fate around. Cracking the prince's cold exterior is a challenge, but once she does, there seems to be no going back. As Rayton grows more and more attached to her, Sets is pulled deeper into the mist of dark conspiracies brewing around the palace. There's a lot of mysteries and cute moments. This is also a slow burn romance. You should definitely give this a try. Coming at number 4, we have Snapshots of Becky Gong. For Becky, who lives in a broken household with a cheating father and a depressed mother, fangirling over the popular K-pop star Tinkerbell was her only solace. But when she realizes that the image of Tinkerbell she had loved for so long was only a fantasy, and when she hears that her parents are getting back together, Becky decides it's time to live for herself and suddenly moves to Japan to pursue her career in photography. This story deals with a lot of very real issues, and I have felt both extreme lows and highs while reading this. It may seem generic at first, but it deals with sexism and misogynistic ideals from some of the characters and others heavier topics. If you want a story with intricate characters and potential for development, this is the perfect fit. In my opinion, this is an underrated manga. It deserves more appreciation. The female lead is still growing as a person and knows she is not perfect. This is a great story. You should definitely give this a try. Coming at number 5, we have Charlotte Has 5 Disciples. Charlotte Eleanor is by far the strongest mage on the continent, and everyone knows about her and her 5 disciples. She is 121 years old though and wants to find her eternal peace by releasing all her mana into the world. This she does without letting anyone know. Something goes wrong when she tries to die, and instead of dying, she reverses the age of her body to a young child almost with no mana and starts a second life as Arya listens. She still doesn't let her disciples know that she is alive and tries to live an ordinary life. In this new life, Arya is determined to find and live for one thing that she never had, and that is love. However, she comes to find out her demise as Charlotte was nowhere as inconsequential to the world as it seemed, and certainly not to her mighty 5 disciples, who aren't coping that well with her loss. The pacing is slow at first, but that makes the story more enjoyable. This manhwa got an amazing plot, beautiful art, and wonderful characters, and sense of humor everywhere. It has a great balance of action, comedy, and drama. Definitely worth your time. The female lead is badass. It's one of my favorite manhwa. Coming at number 6, we have The Hidden Scientist. Many years ago, there lived a knight who loved a scientist. However, wanting to not hurt the scientist, who wasn't allowed to have personal feelings, he made sure to keep a safe distance from her. Eventually, the scientist died in his arms, and the devastated knight swore with bitter anguish that if he gets a chance at another life, he will make sure that she would no longer live as a scientist. After a long 300 years, the scientist was reborn. It has an interesting plot with unique, uncommon pairing. The romance is smooth sailing and the pairing is cute. The family and friends are loving and supportive. The art is good. The plot is starting off interesting, and I want to see how the family and male lead solve the challenge of protecting the female lead from awakening as a scientist. While I'm grateful for the stable romantic relationship, I feel like the story moves way too fast. It seems interesting and wholesome so far. Coming at number 7, we have Flirting with the Villain's Dad. The female lead gets trapped in a web novel named Brigitte Wants to Be Happy. She knows what's gonna happen in the future. She soon realizes that she transmigrated as the original female lead's aunt Yerenika, and that she is stuck 20 years before the main story begins. She remembers that everyone in her generation is destined to die tragically. So she decides to seduce King Eurydion, the father of the original villain, to prevent the villain from being born. I love how Eurydion is a warm person, but at the same time he is cold. The character designs, storyline, and the world building, artwork, and the backgrounds are so well done. The plot may sound cringe, but both male lead and female lead are sweethearts, and they make this kind of plot really enjoyable. The story is engaging and moves forward at a good pace. Coming at number 8, we have A Red Knight Does Not Blindly Follow Money. The Imperial Knight Judith was once a scumbag that would do anything for money. She lived as a slave to money, as a dog of the imperial family, and a tool to the chief. Under the guise of destitution, she abandoned her guild, but what was at the end was betrayal and death. However, when she opened her eyes, she went back to being a new knight after 6 years. Judith is determined to live a different life than before. It has strong female lead, beautiful plot and art, set in historical period, peak of psychological drama, and minimal romance. The story and the plot is amazing. You can tell that the author have thought this story and plot thoroughly. The plot is immaculate, and I love the art. Coming at number 9, we have I Tamed a Crazy Markus. From a family of righteous counts, Laronon Idor happens to save a boy named Iskal at the auction. Later on, he loses his life in a fire tragedy, and Lara is forced to bury the dead Iskal in her hut. A year later, a crazy Markus with the same name as the boy appears in front of Lara by fate. He is the villain that even the Emperor trembles at, Iskal Van Dyke. But this terrifying man soon proposes to Lara. The art is gorgeous and complements the story well. The premise of the story is interesting. Actually, the plot or the summary may seem common, but it's not. It's deeper and there is actual character development. Female lead is also not extreme, not expectedly dumb or extremely villainy or easy to fall in love. She is pure but strong. Coming at number 10, we have Untouchable Lady. Noble woman Hillis Inoadan has had many lives so far, but she has always been regarded the same in all of them, meek, submissive, and a pest. But in her eighth resurrection, she no longer bends to the nobles that encircle her, nor does she continue to live in the shadows of her wicked stepbrother and sister. With a sacred power passed down from her lineage and the title of family head, she sets out for revenge and to change the grave destiny that awaits her. The art style is really beautiful and eye-catching. The drawing emphasizes the cruelty while not making you uncomfortable. Finally, the plot is interesting and even small details are taken into account that makes you more interested and invested on the chapter you are reading. I hope you'll have a good day. See ya!